Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my live. I need to be sure we get the stories out, keep the stories flowing about what's been going on, child abuse. Every child's life matters. Today, we're going to be talking about Shelbyville, Tennessee mother that killed her 12-year-old son and fled with a 4-year-old son. In some of the articles, it claims that he's 11-year-old, but I have not been able to find out when his actual birthday was. So to actually find out whether he is just that age or not, whether he's 11 or whether he's 12. But y'all know me. I love starting out with a couple of Bible scriptures. First, I'll start out, since it's today, we'll start out with two different ones. The first one is in Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. The second one is Matthew 18:10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. I also want to go ahead for this special episode. I'll go ahead and read a poem that I had written in my book. It's called Shattered in my Shattered Innocence book. I had written the poem back in January 2021. The name of the poem is Tears for the Children Lost. Tears for the children lost, tears for the unprotected, sadness for innocence lost, joy for their beating hearts, joy for their breaths alive, sorrow and mourning for the loss of life, sorrow and mourning for the pain they felt, sad they died too young, tears, sorrow, empathy, and anger at the despicable people responsible. I think that in itself speaks for a lot of people on how we really feel with these despicable acts being done. All right, first, I've got different. I am going to make sure that the different websites who has this, because each story, each one of these might have a tidbit of a little bit more information than the first one. Make sure to notice at the bottom it says if you have details about this case, you are encouraged to contact the Shelbyville Police Department at 931-684-5811 or 1-800 TBI Fine. Again, this is still an active investigation. Deputy Cruz said the Shelbyville schools are providing grief counselors to students and staff if needed. Thank everyone for being here. Be nice to have friendly hellos, and I just like communicating with y'all the best I can. So it helps feel like I'm not alone while I'm getting the word out there. And to remember, please help bring awareness. Please like, follow, and share if you can. So first, I'm going to go ahead and I will share my screen because that's about getting awareness out there. All right, allow. And I'm going to make it full screen where y'all can see it all. It's right here. And I want to give thanks to WKRN.com. This is in Middle Tennessee, of course. This was posted July the 18th at 6:30 p.m. and updated July the 18th at 6:38 p.m., so 8 minutes later. The Shelbyville mom admitted to the intentional killing of her 11-year-old son, police say. In Bedford County, a father came home Monday to find his 11-year-old son killed and his 4-year-old son missing. On Tuesday, police arrested the boy's mother during their press conference Tuesday morning. Shelbyville Deputy Chief Brian Cruz held up a photo of an 11-year-old Esteban Sylvester, a rising seventh grader at Harris Middle School. There will be questions for days and weeks and months about why this happened. Shelbyville police said that Esteban's father walked into the home on Barstow Lane just before 10 p.m. Monday to find his son unresponsive. Evidence leads us to believe that it was strangulation, said Cruz. His 4-year-old son, Rafael, and the boy's mother, Patricia Sylvester, were missing. Police said she traveled to Coffee County. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation put out an endangered child alert overnight. The next day, around 8 a.m., Patricia returned home with Raphael. Without going into details of this very active investigation, I can tell you that Patricia has admitted to the intentional killing of Esteban and the attempted murder of her 4-year-old son, Raphael. Raphael has been taken to a hospital for further evaluation, said Cruz. Patricia has been charged by our Criminal Investigations Division with one count of criminal homicide and one count of attempted criminal homicide. I love my sister, said Teresa Sylvester, crying over the loss of her nephew and sister's arrest. She said that her nephew was a good boy, and Patricia said she was sorry. I don't know what happened to her, why she changed and everything. I hope she's okay, and I hope she gets the help she needs. Bedford County Schools put out a statement describing Esteban as a sweet, caring, always willing to help, and a great team player. As police continue searching for a motive, our investigators will continue looking into that until we have all the answers, said Cruz. Officials said that the father is not a suspect. The medical examiner's office will release the exact cause of death, according to authorities. Esteban's younger brother is fortunate to be alive. Patricia is being held on a $2 million bond. Good, 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 good. And here's where the mother was charged. This is at Shelbyville Times Gazette. The mother was charged in the murder. These are the apartments on Barstow Lane in Shelbyville where Esteban Sylvester was found. Posted Wednesday, July the 19th at 4. A Shelbyville mother is facing serious charges in death of her 12-year-old son. See, right here it says 12. The other one says 11. But that's what I'm saying. It's conflicting about the age. Patricia Sylvester, 32, is being charged in the murder of her oldest son, Esteban, after his father found him unresponsive. He immediately called 911, and while Bedford County EMS and Shelbyville Fire Rescue attempted resuscitation efforts, those proved futile, and the young child was pronounced dead at Vanderbilt Bedford Hospital. According to an SPD arrest warrant, the mother strangled the 12-year-old boy, causing his death, and tried to strangle her 4-year-old son, Raphael, but stopped when the boy began screaming. She continued to strangle him until he became combative. The mother and the younger son became the center of focus for the TBI, and an endangered child alert soon followed. Tuesday morning, Sylvester and the younger child arrived back at their Barksdale Lane apartment, Canterbury Village, formerly Bedford Manor, where she was transported to SPD headquarters for questioning. During the investigation, she admitted to killing one child and attempting to kill the other. I'm glad when she had the other boy out that she didn't kill him then too. Sylvester was taken into custody and charged with criminal homicide and attempted criminal homicide. Once released from a local hospital on a mental evaluation, he'll be placed in the custody of the Bedford County Jail on a $2 million bond. And this is the grandmother. Well, first, before going there, I want to go over here and talk about this. This is the mother right here. This is the mother, deceased 12-year-old in Shelbyville, charged to death. And there's little Esteban right there. Look how beautiful, beautiful little boy he was. And in Shelbyville, Tennessee, the Shelbyville Police Department is investigating the death of an 11-year-old boy who was found deceased within his residence on Barstow Lane on Monday night. Authorities say on Monday, July the 17th, approximately 9:50 p.m., the boy's father arrived at the residence and discovered his son Esteban Sylvester unresponsive. Residents nearby came to the aid of the father and called 911. Reports indicated the mother of the child, Patricia Sylvester, allegedly killed the 11-year-old and fled Bedford County with a 4-year-old brother, Rafael Sylvester. Shelbyville Deputy Chief Brian Cruz told media during a press conference on Tuesday. In regards to the 4-year-old, the mother allegedly attempted to harm him as well, Cruz reported. We're fortunate he's still with us today. According to police, the 32-year-old mother tried to conceal or cover up evidence prior to fleeing the Bedford County area with Esteban's 4-year-old brother. Apparently, she strangled Esteban and then drove to nearby Coffee County. If you have details about this case, you are encouraged to contact the Shelbyville Police Department at 931-684-5811 or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Again, this is an active investigation. Deputy Cruz said that the Shelbyville schools are providing great counselors to students and staff if needed. And it says all suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The arrest records of information about an arrest that are published and reported on News Radio WGNS are not an indication of guilt or evidence that an actual crime has been committed, although she did admit to it. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to mute my mic and play this for you, and then I'll play the video on the grandmother with her talking that's on the next uh, website. So y'all will not be able to hear me for a few minutes while I do this, but I do not mind showing how to use StreamYard to get the good.
At Harris Middle School. Last night, just before 10 p.m., Esteban's father arrived at the family's residence and found Esteban unresponsive. Attempts to locate Esteban's mother, Patricia, and 4-year-old sibling, Rafael, were unsuccessful throughout the night. This led to the endangered child alert that went out earlier. Today, around 8 a.m., the mother returned to the residence with 4-year-old Rafael. The two were escorted to the police department where investigators questioned Patricia about the suspicious death of Esteban. Without going into the details of this very active investigation, I can tell you that Patricia has admitted to the intentional killing of Esteban and the attempted murder of 4-year-old Rafael. Rafael has been taken to a local hospital for further evaluation. Patricia has been charged by our Criminal Investigations Division with 1 count of criminal homicide and 1 count of attempted criminal homicide.
His mama. And his mama loved him. He was his pride and joy.
Who was his
And
younger?
Rabbi is her pride and joy too, 'cause he loved those babies.
Oh man, that really hits you. It hits you hard. And her mourn loss of a grandson and the what was done to the other grandson as well. Sorry, I got tears in my eyes talking about this. This was senseless and heart-wrenching turn of events. Joyce Sylvester is mourning the loss of her 12-year-old grandson, Esteban Sylvester, after Shelbyville police say he was killed by his own mother. Patricia Sylvester is accused of killing Esteban and attempting to murder his 4-year-old brother, Rafael Sylvester. Shelbyville police reported that Patricia confessed to strangling the young boy to death before he reached his 13th birthday. So he was about to turn 13. Excuse me. Patricia's mom said her heart is shattered over the loss of her grandchild. He was my grandson, and I love him to death. He's always been happy. Joyce Sylvester said while sobbing, struggling to comprehend the tragedy that her family is facing. She expressed deep sadness and disbelief, never having expected her daughter to inflict harm upon her own children. Esteban was an avid basketball player. He was looking forward to starting seventh grade at Harris Middle School. He was known for his vibrant and loving spirit. His grandmother said, excuse me, he shared a close bond with his mother. He loved his mama. His mama loved him, Joyce simply shared. He was her pride and joy, and Raphael was her pride and joy too. She loved those little babies. She said she wished she could have done something to prevent this tragic situation. According to the Shelbyville Police Department, the series of events unfolded when Esteban's father found him unresponsive at the Barstow Lane at the house. This happened before 10 p.m. on Monday. Concerned neighbors rushed to help the father and immediately called 911. Investigators worked to track down Esteban's mother, excuse me, 32-year-old Patricia Sylvester, and her 4-year-old son, Raphael, at the time. The two were nowhere to be found. In response to the dire situation, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued an endangered child alert for Raphael. He was believed to be with his mother traveling in a Dodge Caravan. At about 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, shortly after the alert was issued, Patricia and Raphael were found alive after returning back to their home. They were taken to the Shelbyville Police Department where investigators interviewed the family. Excuse me. Oh, this is really heart wrenching to me too. I'm sitting here trying to talk and crying at the same time. During the investigation, Patricia admitted to killing Esteban and attempted to harm Raphael. Police said the investigation revealed that Esteban likely lost his life due to strangulation. Patricia Sylvester is now facing charges of one count of criminal homicide and one count of attempted criminal homicide. After a medical evaluation, she will be transferred to the Bedford County Jail, where she'll be held on $2 million bond. It's a sad situation, and I will play this again for the grandmother's sake. We all need to mourn the loss of this senseless act, but I don't call love. Sorry, I'm sorry. Are you there? Um, I'm just still having trouble focusing and thinking about how she said that she loved her kid, how the mother loved the kid, how the mother loved the kids, and she tried to kill them. Excuse me, that is not love. That is not love when you harm your kids. There's other ways to deal with things, not murder them. One talked how sweet that little Esteban was. Then his smile, he looked so much like the mother, it was ridiculous. But anybody would get on there and say, well, she loved her boys. I'm sorry, I cannot look at that as love. I just can't. Abuse is not love. Abuse does not hurt. Murder. And then, like, she did go to the 4-year-old afterward and try to strangle and kill him. But he started screaming. And we started, let's see, started screaming at first. And then he got to where he was kind of like fighting, and so she stopped from killing him. Why didn't she stop from killing Esteban when Esteban was fighting and screaming? Why? This is all senseless. No one's going to convince me that the mother loved either of those kids. No one's going to convince me of that because love does not, they don't kill. Love does not destroy. Hate does. But please remember to keep Rafael in your prayers, the daddy in your prayers, and everybody involved in your prayers, your thoughts. This was another senseless act that should never have happened. I want to say thank you and God bless you.